you mentioned something on your show recently that I know a lot of people have been chatting about. There's been a lot of chatter about this. The sit-down, the peace summit heard around the world between Candace Owens and Erika Kirk. And you mentioned that you played a role in brokering this. Tell us the story, if you would.
Well, Erika has asked me to tell the story and is fine with me telling the story, so I will. Otherwise, I would not have gotten into the details. But so from the beginning of Candace's programming on this, I've been in touch with Turning Point, and I know you have too. We've all talked about it behind the scenes, but I've had long conversations with everybody at the highest levels on how to handle this. And I think everybody was confused about what the next right move was because it was so extraordinary. And I'm not going to get into the substance of those discussions, but suffice to say that I think everyone felt the best course initially was to try to just rise above it and not respond in a tit-for-tat manner. And as it went on, it started to get more and more problematic for Turning Point, for Erika, and so on. And Erika called me and said, I want to do a sit-down with Candace, and I want you to moderate it. And I said, what? Say what? And I said, she said a word from you would silence her on this forever. Like, it doesn't have to be an oral word. It could be like a text or an email. Maybe that's the best way to see if we can put this to bed. But Erika really felt that they should sit down together face to face. And I've gotten to know Candace a little better over the past months, and I actually thought she might do it. Like, I wasn't sure, but I don't know. An invitation from Erika would be hard to resist. And she said, would you please come and facilitate it, really? Just like they were going to have the discussion, but Erika's thought, and Candace originally wanted to do this too, was for them to live stream this out that same Monday that the Turning Point guys were going to live stream their event. And of course, I'm like, oh, my mother of God, what am I getting myself into? But I actually felt like it was divine right order. And I have to tell you, Jack, I've prayed so many times to Charlie and to God to give me the right guidance on how to handle this whole thing. The fracture within the conservative movement, my friends turning on me because I won't call out my other friends like Tucker. This dust up between Candace and Erika, and Turning Point and Erika, Turning Point and Candace, which is fraught, and yet I understand. I know people are very angry at Candace right now, and I understand it, but I have to say, and Ben, yet another thing he mocked me for was saying she was a young mother. Well, Candace had literally just had a baby. And I'm sorry, maybe Ben doesn't understand, but that is a vulnerable position for a woman. And then her friend got shot in the neck. And so I did think she deserved a wide berth right after Charlie's death to explore what she wanted to explore. I had real empathy for her. And of course, I don't agree with what she's said about Turning Point and Erika, and she knows that. But my point was simply that I thought maybe Charlie helped me understand, to keep my powder dry in the whole thing, so that maybe I could be in a position to help it happen. It's what Erika wants. Maybe Candace does want an off-ramp, and I'm willing to try. So Candace and I were in touch, and she was very nice. She said, I'm thrilled it's you. I'll do it. So they were going to do it out here in Arizona, and then there was a security issue. Candace said that she couldn't come. And then Erika said, I'll go to you. I'll go to Nashville. Which is just extraordinary. I mean, Erika's been all over the country trying to honor Charlie's commitments on his book tour. She was exhausted. She had this coming up this week. I mean, she's going through, she has 2 babies at home she's now a single mother to. But she really wanted to put this to bed, and so she said, I'll go to you. And then it morphed into, let's not do the live stream. Let's just do it, the 2 of us, which I thought was great. So they both went in there. Erika brought a trusted friend and employee here, and Candace had someone very close to her, and by all accounts from both women, had a very good meeting. Now, will it last? Where does it go from here? I was joking earlier, what's more tenuous, the Gaza peace deal or this situation? What I really want is for Candace to move on from Turning Point and Erika. I have no problem with her asking questions, but not about them. But I also object, for the record, to the people who have tried to shut Candace down entirely on inquiring into what, if any, role did Israel have here. And I want to make clear, I don't think Israel had any role. I think Tyler Robinson killed Charlie. My only question is whether there was some trans-Tifa element that helped him. However, it's okay to ask questions about Israel. And it was Andrew Colvett, the executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, who sent those texts to the FBI of Charlie's, from that private message. It wasn't a text, it was private messages, like a group chat, in which he said the Jewish donors to Turning Point were driving him up the wall, and that he'd had it with them, and that they were making demands of him that he was not prepared to meet, and he was at his wit's end. And he had told me personally that he found their behavior, and I quote, repulsive. So I was fine. Again, I don't think Israel had anything to do with it, but why did I have an obligation to stop Candace from asking those questions? I didn't, and I didn't call her out because I favored her asking them.